Hello and welcome to B.empowered, a podcast series that is brought to you by BioLabs. We're here live at Bio 2024 in San Diego, and today I have the pleasure of welcoming Irene from Servier. So welcome, Irene. Thank you for being
Thanks.
here. Maybe you can first start by introducing yourself,
Sure.
and for those in the audience who might not be very familiar with the Servier's activities. Maybe give us a little bit of the background of this pharma company and a little overview of your strategy.
Absolutely. So I'm Irene Blat. I'm Senior Director of Search and Evaluation for Oncology, and I'm based in our Boston office in the U.S. And I work primarily with our research team as well as our business development team to identify early stage opportunities to complement our pipeline and advance innovation in our therapeutics.
Okay.
And so Servier is actually a pharmaceutical company that's been around since 1954 and is headquartered in Paris. And historically been primarily focused in the cardiovascular space. And then in the last several years, we've moved more into the oncology space. And most recently, we've added neurology as an indication as well. So we have 22,000 employees worldwide, and we're in 150 countries. So we have a global footprint, and we have marketed products in cardiovascular and oncology. We reinvest 20% of our revenue back into the R&D pipeline, and we're a private pharmaceutical company. So that gives us sort of a longer-term view that allows us to look at some of the more challenging spaces where there's higher unmet needs for patients. So in terms of indications, we go into spaces like glioblastoma and gliomas in oncology, or AML and pancreatic cancer. So some of these spaces that haven't seen many advances in a long time. And so that's really a unique strategy that we have, and really looking for ways where we can clearly identify patients that could best benefit from the therapies that we're developing.
And I guess adding neurology was also part of this overall
That's right.
strategy, right?
So for neurology, we're also looking to go into some of these unmet need areas. So we're in the spaces of neurodevelopmental conditions as well as neuromuscular, neurodegenerative conditions, as well as neuroinflammation. So again, looking for areas where there's potential to select patients that could best benefit from the therapies.
Understood. All right. And so you are focusing on identifying new opportunities of collaborations, mainly with biotech companies, I understand. We have had the privilege of working together with Servier and opening a site together in Saclay, in your brand new R&D facility.
Yes.
Can you maybe explain to us how this is contributing to your strategy of open innovation?
Sure. So yes, you're exactly right. We're really excited to have partners within our R&D center headquartered in Paris. And for us, innovation, we're agnostic to where it comes from. We're really focused on where can we have the best impact for patients. So whether the innovation comes from our internal pipeline or from partners, that's really, we're committed to having 50-50 input. And so that's why we think Partners is such a great opportunity to bring a lot of that very early innovation from the ecosystem closer to where our researchers are. So that there can be a collaboration and a dialogue between early stage companies and some of our R&D teams, where we can share, our expertise and also the technologies that we have in house that maybe smaller startup companies may not have access to, but they can access our facilities and collaborate with our team to have sort of an iterative feedback loop to really advance innovation. So we're really excited about this model and excited to partner with BioLabs on this.
No, we're super excited too. It's been great to see the energy over there as partners and how all the Servier collaborators are super eager to participate in the events that we organize on site and to discuss with innovators, even if they're not even working in the same field, right, or the same area.
Right.
it's always great to see a little bit further to what you do on an everyday basis, right?
Yes, exactly. And for us, we have other R&D centers throughout the globe. So we also have a research center outside of Copenhagen in Ballerup in Denmark, where we have a biologics team with expertise in antibody development. We have a chemistry team in our center in Budapest in Hungary. We have a clinical center in Beijing. And most recently, we've opened a site in Boston where we have a research site there as well, where we're also working closely with some of the BioLabs team in sponsoring a golden ticket at Lab Central. So we had a great event recently and saw a lot of great companies come through there. So we really value this iterative feedback loop between the early stage companies and leveraging this expertise that we have globally as well.
Indeed, indeed. We did also run a golden ticket campaign for Sparkners, and I believe selection is ongoing, so stay tuned for the awardee to be revealed. I believe on the 4th of July.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's going to be a very nice
patriotic
party happening at Sparkners again. Maybe so. Last question we have. We hope a lot of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs listening to us, and all of them are eager to interact with pharma companies and maybe specifically with Servier. What would be the advice that you would give them to, like when they send you the first pitch deck, or to catch your attention?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think really starting with the problem that you're trying to solve and how your technology can solve that problem, I think is really important. And for us, it's really understanding, where the unmet need is, and where the opportunity is. Where's the innovation that you're bringing to solve some of these challenges? And we look at things very early. So in search and evaluation, we look at opportunities that are preclinical or early clinical, and then we work closely with the R&D team to also have that feedback loop. So I encourage folks to reach out early to be able to better identify for a specific program where the team might want to see more data, or where they would see the value to then further the collaboration. Because I do think that the collaboration and the conversations that happen between partners and our internal team are really productive for both sides to really have a better understanding of the space and the innovation, and how these things could work together with maybe potentially things in our pipeline as well.
Yeah, it also allows to build trust, I would say.
That's right.
If you want to reach out the point of a partnership, it's usually a long road, and it's maybe easier to achieve once you kind of build the project together, right? With interaction and trust building along the way. All right, so we all encourage entrepreneurs to mingle and discuss and reach out to our partners. That's also the idea of all the events that we run on site. It's just to build those connections very early on, and make sure it brings them all the tools necessary to further develop. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Irene, for joining us today.
Yes.
And yeah, that's it.